All right, sports fans, how's everybody out there doing? William Martin coming at you one more time here on YouTube with another edition of the 300 Pounds of Sports Knowledge Podcast. First and foremost, I hope that everybody has a happy, healthy, and prosperous 2021. And with that said, we are on the precipice of week number 17 in the NFL season. There is still plenty to be decided playoff-wise in both the American Football Conference as well as the National Football Conference. Tremendous action on tap for this Sunday as so much is on the line in regards to playoff seeding. Who will win? Who will lose, and who will be disappointed as they'll be watching the postseason from home. And with that said, here are my picks for week number 17 in the 2020 NFL season. So you're going to have the 10-5 Miami Dolphins traveling to Orchard Park to take on the 12-3 Buffalo Bills. Buffalo comes into this contest favored by 3 points over their AFC East brethren. And for Buffalo, they've already clinched the AFC East title. They are staring at a possible 2 seed in the tournament, while for the Dolphins, they know that they need to win in order to get into the postseason derby. And for Miami, they won't have the services of veteran quarterback Ryan Tannehill, which means that the rookie Tua Tagovailoa won't be looking over his shoulder in this contest. However, if you're Tagovailoa, you still have to deal with a stingy Bills defense. And speaking of the Bills, you look at what has been going on with this offense this year, most notably the passing game. And I'm talking about quarterback Josh Allen and wide receiver Stephon Diggs. Everybody put the onus on Josh Allen to step his game up. The Bills front office did their part as they brought in a big-time receiver such as Stephon Diggs via trade to go out there and make it happen. And that's what this combo has done so far this season. You look at the Bills right now, they're rolling. They have a whole bunch of confidence. This defense is playing better because now they realize that they have an offense that can go out there and score some points. And I think that's the difference in this one. I'm going to take Buffalo at home by the score of 31-23. Now, you're going to have the 10-5 Baltimore Ravens traveling to take on the 4-10-1 Cincinnati Bengals. Baltimore comes into this contest favored by 13 points, but they need to take care of their business versus a Bengals team that definitely wants to finish on a positive note. But you look at the Ravens, and ever since they've gotten Lamar Jackson back, this team is rolling. They have a ton of confidence behind them, and they feel like not only that they have what it takes to make the postseason, but they also feel like they can go out there and do some damage. I think Baltimore goes out there. They know the importance of this game. They cannot let the foot off of the throttle, and I'm going to take the Ravens to win this one by the score of 34-20. Now you're going to have the 12-3 Pittsburgh Steelers traveling to take on the 10-5 Cleveland Browns. And for Cleveland, there is so much at stake in this contest. The Browns need to win this game in order to make the postseason, or it could be a depressing offseason to see them possibly go 10-6 and not make the playoffs. Now, for Pittsburgh, no Big Ben at quarterback, as the Steelers have decided to rest him ahead of the postseason, which means that the black and gold are going to rely on Mason Rudolph. We know what happened last year between Mason Rudolph and Myles Garrett when the Steelers and Browns played, and you just have to wonder if there will be any holdover from that heading into this contest. But you look at the Browns, they know that they have plenty at stake here. They catch a break not having to deal with Ben Roethlisberger, and I think the onus is going to be on Baker Mayfield and this Browns offense to go out there and take care of their business. I think they will. I think the Browns defense will be up for the challenge of slowing down the Steelers, and because of that, I'm going to take Cleveland at home by the score of 30-20. Now, it's going to be the 6-9 Minnesota Vikings traveling to take on the 5-10 Detroit Lions. Minnesota comes into this contest favored by 6.5 points, and although both of these teams are out of postseason contention, they still want to finish the year on a positive note. I look at the quarterback play of Kirk Cousins. He's been up and down all season long, but right now, especially not having the services of Dalvin Cook at running back in this contest, he knows that the onus will be on him even more to step his game up. I think the Purple Gang will be up for the challenge, and I think they take care of business on the road by the score of 30-27. Now, it's going to be the 2-13 New York Jets traveling to Foxborough to take on the 6-9 New England Patriots. And for the Patriots, you got to try to finish on a positive positive note, especially being that this is going to be the first time since 2000 that you are finishing a season with a losing record. For the Jets, they lost their first 13 games of the season. They've now won their last 2, and they definitely would love to finish on a positive note, especially being that their head coach, Adam Gase, looks like he's a lame duck guy for his position. The Patriots defense, they're still one of the best in the NFL. They just don't have the offense to complement that. And I think the Patriots defense wants to finish on a positive note and go out there and make life tough for Jets quarterback Sam Darnold. The Patriots passing game has not been pretty all season long, and you expect them to once again rely on that running attack. And I think they're going to do that in this contest. It's going to be a back and forth, nip and tuck, very physical game, which you have grown to expect from these two bitter AFC East rivals for so long. But I'm going to take New England at home by the score of 23-19. Now at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey, you're going to have the 6-9 Dallas Cowboys traveling to take on the 5-10 New York Football Giants. And normally when you're talking about a 6-9 team meeting a 5-10 team in week number 17, they're just trying to finish out the season and get to the offseason. However, the winner of this contest is going to be in a very good position to potentially win the NFC East at day's end. You look at the Dallas Cowboys, they started off slow. They've gotten it going. Their defense is playing better, and this offense has come to life with veteran quarterback Andy Dalton under center. On the flip side for the Giants, they're limping into this game. They've lost their last 3. They have the defense to keep them competitive, but the problem is their offense. Their offense has been anemic at best, and for the Giants, if they score 20 points, that's really an outburst. Daniel Jones, the Giants quarterback, is hurt, and even when he's healthy, I'm not a firm believer in him. I'm a believer in what the Giants can do defensively, but I'm not sure if it's going to be enough for them to get it done in this contest versus Dallas. This is going to take the Cowboys on the road by the score of 27-19. Now, in Tampa, you're going to have this 10-5 Buccaneers hosting the 4-11 Atlanta Falcons. And for Atlanta, it's the same old song as they consistently find ways to lose ball games. We saw it once again last week on the road versus the Kansas City Chiefs. These two clubs met a couple of weeks ago, and the Bucs were being dominated by the Falcons 24-7 before they got up off the canvas for the comeback victory. I look at the way that quarterback Tom Brady is playing right now for Tampa. I also look at the way that the Bucs are flying around to the football defensively, and they're going to go out there and make life tough for Falcons quarterback Matt Ryan, who could be playing his last game with the franchise. Tampa Bay is rolling, and they're looking to do some damage in the postseason, and I don't think they slow down here. Just I'm going to take the Bucs by the score of 34-23. Now at Soldier Field, you're going to have the 12-3 Green Bay Packers traveling to take on the 8-7 Chicago Bears. And there's plenty at stake for both of these teams. The Packers know a win could get them home field advantage throughout the NFC playoffs. While for the Bears, they know that they need to win to hang around in the postseason race. You look at the way the quarterback Aaron Rodgers has been playing all season long for the Packers. I said that he would have an MVP caliber season, and he has not proven me wrong. And now this Bears defense must be up for the challenge to try to slow down number 12. The Bears offense has been playing better of late. You look at the way that Mitchell Trubisky has rallied this team, and they've gotten it going in order to complement this stingy Bears defense. However, in this contest, I don't think it's enough, as Green Bay is clearly the better team in this division. This is going to take the Pack by the score of 34-22. Now you're going to have the 7-8 Las Vegas Raiders traveling to take on the 5-10 Denver Broncos. And it's hard to believe, but it really wasn't that long ago that the Raiders were 6-2. They were right in contention for a postseason spot in the AFC, and things have really gotten out of hand very quickly. Lack of leadership for this Raiders team has really hindered them. Lack of playmakers on the defensive side of the ball, and it just looks like a team that has given up. The Denver Broncos still have plenty of fight in them, and they are fighting and scrapping. We saw that during their loss last week to the Chargers, but I think the Broncos definitely want to finish on the right note, and because of that, they get the 24-23 victory at home over the Silver and Black. Now you're going to have the 1-14 10-14 Jacksonville Jaguars, traveling to take on the 10-5 Indianapolis Colts. Indianapolis comes into this contest favored by 2 touchdowns, and rightfully so, because we're looking at a Jacksonville team that has not won since week 1. However, that victory came versus these same Indianapolis Colts. But you look at the Jaguars, they've already clinched the top spot in the 2021 NFL Draft. You look at this team overall, they basically quit. They have no fight in them, and that's going to be hard. They're going to be hard pressed going up against a Colts team that has so much on the line as they're looking to hang around in the playoff picture in the AFC. Good possibility that a team wins 11 games and doesn't make the playoffs this year on the AFC side, but I think the Colts will take care of their business, and they beat Jacksonville by the score of 37-19. Now you're going to have the 14-1 Kansas City Chiefs hosting the 6-9 Los Angeles Chargers, and in this contest, Kansas City has already wrapped up home field advantage in the AFC playoffs. So I expect the likes of Patrick Mahomes to get plenty of rest, if not be inactive for this game altogether, as Coach Andy Reid definitely wants them to keep them fresh as they look to repeat as Super Bowl champions. On the flip side for the Chargers, could possibly be the last game for Anthony Lynn as their head coach. This team does like him as far as his players, and I think they're going to go out there and fight and scrap and do what they have to do for him. And because of that, I take the Chargers on the road by the score of 34-27. Now, a big one in the NFC West is you're going to have the 8-7 Arizona Cardinals traveling to take on the 9-6 Los Angeles Rams. The winner of this contest is definitely in the postseason, while the loser could really be in a bad spot. A few weeks ago, it looked like the Rams were a lock. They suffered that shocking home loss to the New York Jets, and then they lost last week on the road courtesy of the Seattle Seahawks. Now the Rams have lost their starting quarterback in Jared Goff, and now they have to go out there and try to defeat a team that has already beaten them so far this season. You look at Arizona, they've been up and down, they've been in and out, but the one thing that they have not done is quit. And you look at Kyler Murray, he's on the precipice of getting this team to the postseason at quarterback, and this is the type of game right here, if he has a big one, people could remember him for. The Cardinals, they still have to deal with this Rams defense, but I think this game is going to come down to this Cardinals defense versus the Rams offense, especially without the services of Jared Goff. Thus, I'm going to take the Bird Gang on the road by the score of 27-20. Now, it's going to be the 11-4 Seattle Seahawks traveling to take on the 6-9 San Francisco 49ers. San Francisco was a division winner in 2019. They've been hit with injuries all season long that has really hindered what they couldn't do, but they want to try to go out there and play spoiler. Why? Because Seattle is looking to finish the regular season on a positive note as they make that postseason run. But you look at quarterback Russell Wilson has thrown some more interceptions than we expected him to see during the second half of the season, and it's still going to be tough going up against the 49ers defense that is tough, physical, and they want to go out there and finish on a positive note heading into the offseason. But Seattle is the better team, and because of that, I'm going to take the Seahawks on the road by the score of 27-20. Now you're going to have the 5-10 Carolina Panthers hosting the 11-4 New Orleans Saints. New Orleans comes into this contest favored by 6.5 points. We know what they can do running the football. They have veteran quarterback Drew Brees back, and they have a very opportunistic defense that is going to make life tough for Panthers quarterback Teddy Bridgewater. The Panthers will play hard. They will be aggressive, but I don't see it being enough to get past the Saints in this one. Thus, I'm going to take New Orleans on the road by the score of 31-19. Then you're going to have the 10-5 Houston Texans, the 10-5 Tennessee Titans traveling to take on the 4-11 Houston Texans. Tennessee comes into this contest favored by 7.5 points as they are looking to wrap up another AFC South title. It all comes down to the legs of running back Derrick Henry, and if you're head coach Mike Vrabel, just give him the football and get out of his way. For the Texans, they've been competitive all season long, but they consistently find ways to lose games. I think quarterback Deshaun Watson will have a big game in this contest, but somehow, some way, the Texans overall simply consistently find a way to blow those close games, and I think this one is no different. Thus, I'm going to take Tennessee on the road by the score of 37-27. And finally, on Sunday Night Football, it's going to be the 6-9 Washington football team traveling to take on the 4-10-1 Philadelphia Eagles. Now, Washington knows if they win this game, they win the NFC East. However, a loss here by Washington and a win either by the Dallas Cowboys or the New York Giants could potentially give them the division title, depending on how things fall. And you look at the quarterback situation for Washington all season long, and it has not been pretty. And this week it took another turn when Dwayne Haskins was released. But you look at the way that Washington is playing on the defensive side of the football, and that's the big thing as far as what they can do. However, I look for Philly to try to play spoiler in this game. They're the only NFC East team heading into week number 17 that still does not have a chance to possibly win this division. This team has been playing better ever since Jalen Hurts was put under center at quarterback, and I think they want to go out there and finish on a positive note, head into the offseason with some confidence. And what a better way to do it than to spoil the potential playoff hopes of your division rival. Thus, I'm going to take Philly at home by the score of 27-23. So, folks, that's going to wrap it up. And those are my picks for week number 17 here in the 2020 NFL season. I want to take this time out to thank all of you fine folks out there for subscribing. And if you have not already, please feel free to subscribe to this channel. Now, if you're on Twitter, please feel free to follow me at 300 Pounds of Sports. And like I always say, if you follow me, it will be my pleasure to follow you right back. There's also the sports discussion group on Facebook at the Sports Depot 365. You can check it out, drop a line, and be a part of one of the better sports debating sites going on social media. So once again, fine folks, my name is William Martin. Take care and have yourselves a wonderful day.